Okay, Halloween 6. Now, before we get into the two cuts, alright, yes, we're talking about both the theatrical cut and the producer's cut for this. Now, let's do a little history. So, Halloween's 4 and 5 introduced this plot line of Jamie Lloyd and Michael's. I don't have it on me. I'm gonna have the thorn tattoo on for the producer's cut segment, but it started a trilogy of like the thorn symbol, and as well as introducing the Man in Black. Now, John Carpenter and Deborah Hill filed lawsuits against Mustafa Akkad, who took control of the franchise. Carpenter wanted to take Halloween to New Line Cinema, but eventually the lawsuit was in favor of Akkad, and distribution rights, a bidding war what happened between New Line Cinema and Dimension Films. Dimension ultimately won. So a lot of change, and like there was a lot of stuff they wanted. A lot of changes that happened, and storylines that were not like, all right. So like Jamie's baby, or Michael being the father to this disgusting thing was not. It was not supposed to be, but someone, I don't know who, made, when doing a revision, made it clear to whoever did that. I just want to talk to you. I just want to talk. But like, and so a test screening happened. A test screen happened with like a teenage audience, and so the Weinsteins, who made Dimension Films, demanded reshoots happen, and so the third act was completely changed. They added more gore and bloodshed to the kills, and that's the version that we're talking about first. That released in theaters, hated, bombed, not good. But now let's get into the movie. So the Halloween movies, there's like slashes and flashes. I had to find all that in today's the movie I had to watch, or half of them technically. Okay, it's kind of complicating, but today I had to watch. Alright, so this is the Miramax Halloween collection, and so today I had to watch Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Said to be the worst film in the Halloween franchise, or like one of the worst. A lot went down on this. And what do I have to say to that? This film is just so terrible. It's like just mind-numbingly terrible. Is like one of the worst edited films I've ever seen. Let's just get into it. So, all right, let's get a brief summary. You know what, I don't know if I have the right words to do this summary about the whole production on what happened to this film, but basically there are two different cuts. There's a theatrical cut, which is the one I just watched, and then there's a producer's cut, which didn't get publicly released until about 2014. This theatrical cut has like an entirely new ending and just some really terrible decisions in it. So, what are those terrible decisions? Let's get to that. All right, music. Music in here is just awful. I just do not like it. Do not like the guitar versions of John Carpenter's Halloween theme. I do not like the kind of modern 90s music they play. And it just does not fit the Halloween universe. The editing is just like I think the worst aspect of this whole film. So like there are so many slash like flash transitions, and it's just I don't get why they had to do that. I don't get why. I guess they thought like, oh, this flashy slash, this will make it all so cool. No, it didn't make it cool. It made it just kind of like disruptive in a way. There's no real purpose for those flash transitions. Like, so like when Marion Hagen's character like tells Tommy Doyle like all it takes is a mother's love or something like that. We have this unnecessary flash transition. Then like when one of what's her name? Kara Strode? I think that's her name. I don't care. Like when one of her friends like sees her nose bleed and tells her, "What the hell happened this time?" There's this like when her boyfriend grabs her, like there's like just so much of that throughout. Like whenever someone like touches someone's shoulder, which I mean, why do that? I mean, like does that like kind of get you sometimes? Who knows? But ultimately, I just see no point with like these transitions and trying to jump scare us all. Thank goodness a lot of this was like nowhere in the producer's cut. Or like I haven't watched the producer's cut yet, but I did see one little clip from Joe Blow's Awfully Good Movies where the producer's cut does not have this useless jump scare sound effect. And there's also no of the flashy, slashy transitions. So at least I have that to look forward to. And need I mention that goddamn strobe light blood massacre? Like, it was like hard to see like who got killed. And plus like by doing that you're gonna like damage a lot of people. I mean, what we learned from Porygon's episode of Pokemon was that having all those flashes can damage a lot of people. I know this was like before Pokemon, but still, like, what made them think this was a good idea? I want to know, like, who at Dimension Films said, yes, I think we should have this insane bloody strobe light scene. I don't know what that person was thinking. I don't know what that... This movie... This is American Werewolf in Paris all over again. It's breaking me. And speaking of things like an American Werewolf in Paris, well, I was going to say it, but I'm going to save it for when I talk about the producer's cut. There are just other little things that do not make sense. Like, why is Michael Myers just pouring out green goo from his mask when Tommy's beating him with a pipe? Why does that, like, the end of Michael, like, a pipe? What else is there? Oh, yes. Why do people just, like, have to take their hands and just sniff the blood? Why did the hospital not clean all the blood from the floor? Why is there no contact with water with John Strode's footprints? This is the same thing I talked about in Fear.com. And just, why would Barry Sims just have to, like, flash everybody? Like, these are a bunch of high schoolers or collegers. You're doing that. Why? Who thought that was a good idea? Who? And why are there, like, little fetus aquarium things, like, in this alien-like laboratory that's just far from the world of Halloween? Like, it's just, I feel like I'm going insane. This movie is making me insane. Oh my god. And why does yeah, why does like why okay. Keep it together, Goldstein. Okay. Why does Tommy Doyle have to like peep on Tara undressing? What a great introduction to someone we're supposed to follow throughout most of this film. Why does the violence have to be so like just like extreme? Like was there really any importance or like purpose as to why Michael had to like put Jamie on a hay baler like not once, not twice, but 3 times and just like turn it on to crush her organs? Like thankfully, like at least the producer's cuts, like its kills just it makes sense. It's much more like the original Halloween. Like it's more okay, they're not quiet, but at least they're kind of bloodless kills, which I think is a nice homage to the original. But here, like, I mean, yeah, John Strode's head explosion was nice, but I just do not see like the kind of purpose to go over the top and extreme with the gore. And once again, like I put that on the studio. The studio was behind a lot of the terrible decisions made throughout the film. This film also like there's some things that changed, obviously with the ending, but also with some of the crew, like Danielle Ferrens, who wrote the producer's cuts, didn't come back to do the new ending. George P. Wilbur, who played Michael in Halloween 4 and in the producer's cut of this film, was instead replaced by Michael Lerner for the theatrical version. And Billy Dixon, who did the cinematography on Halloween 6, the producer's cut, was replaced by Thomas Holloway for the theatrical version. So a lot of stuff changed. Not great changes. It's just Halloween 6 is just it's that I'm speaking quietly because I'm afraid if I just start shouting I'm gonna lose my voice. This movie is this cut of the movie is just so freaking terrible. This is like one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. Same thing with stuff like American Werewolf in Paris, or Fear.com, or the godforsaken Morbius. Let's just hope the producer's cut is in some way better than this. Alright guys, here to talk about the producer's cut and got the thorn tattoo for this. I was actually right. The producer's cut was like steps above the theatrical cut, obviously. Hold on. Now, right off the bat, there's more shots of Dr. Wynn, more of Carpenter's Halloween theme, Carrie Strode being a better mother with the whole stay away monsters, stay away something, keep away from Danny, you jerks know the rules, all that shtick. And the reason they cut that out, this is just a stupid reason, and like, I don't know, because the Weinsteins didn't like actress Marion Hagen because they said she was too skinny and her chin was too long. Fuck those guys. What else? Donald Pleasance just gives off a great performance. I think that's the one great aspect about the producer's cut is Donald Pleasance. You can tell he's given it his all, even though like he was like having health problems and he was like in his 70s. He still like acted the hell out of these monologues. All right. Let's see. Let me just move this. Now, where I do think the producer's cut falls flat is, of course, like the plot twist of Michael Myers being the father of Jamie's baby. Which, what the fuck were they thinking? I didn't like that. I also didn't like how it takes like just rune symbols to like stop Michael. He's just the embodiment of evil. Like him having just the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. That's all we needed to know about Michael. We don't need this backstory history. This is like the same thing that happened in An American Werewolf in Paris. Like this whole cultish gimmick in here. Like they try to make some backstory explanation for something that doesn't need a backstory in it all. John Strode's just a major asshole. Like he'd fit well into the world of Chicken Little. There was a faceless Thomas toy. What else is there? Oh yes, the editing is much better. I really do appreciate the editing. There are still some those slow transitions at the beginning when Jamie's giving birth. But other than that, editing was pretty good. So thankfully, the producer's cut of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, is it's still like not that good of a movie in the grand scheme of things, but I'll happily take that any day than the horrendous theatrical cut. Also, I forgot to mention in the last video that the DVD I watched this in, alright, so if you watched my unboxing of it, I got the 3 Miramax Halloween collection, the Paramount re-release, which is basically just the Echo Bridge DVDs. And let me tell you, the DVD quality is just terrible. It looks so bad. I imagine that the 2000 DVD didn't look like this. So once I'm able to get better copies of H2O and Curse, I'll definitely get rid of that. But yeah, thankfully there is some good stuff here to make this watch somewhat watchable. But in the overall grand scheme of things, Curse of Michael Myers is one you should just definitely skip.